Nothing there.
Woo! Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Come on in, my friends. Come on in, XO family. We've got quite a night ahead of us. I am Christal XO, one half of Relationship Recap. And of course, my partner in crime, the other half, is right here.
Happy Friday. What up,
Christal Moe?
What's happening? What's happening?
Sipping on a little something. Sipping on a little something.
Okay, happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to the chat.
Happy Friday. I see the chat was here early. The chat was here early, talking and sharing. Draymond Star was here early. DMC, the Just Draws podcast, was here early. How did your week end, Scorpio Moe?
Beautifully.
Okay. Hey, well, you know what?
Just the fact that it ended, it was all good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, it never feels like my week's end. I have work tomorrow, but hey.
But your weeks are always like you're a very busy person, so you kind of like you probably don't even know the days sometimes till somebody has to remind you of something.
That's true, but sometimes I do. I work a lot less than I used to, but I have a sneaky suspicion I'm going to be working a lot more soon. But I don't work as often, but this Saturday I do have to work. But it's all good because whenever you have an opportunity to work, that is a blessing. That is a blessing. I did want to say, I did not realize I taped an episode of For My Man. I did not know that the episode was going to air on Wednesday or Thursday night of this week. And then I got a bunch of text messages. I saw you on the show. And, I think I told you guys I was going to share about it, but it was so interesting because I did an episode of TV One's For My Man. And in the show, the girl, I did a roller set that did not quite do what I wanted it to do, but it's all good. In the show, the young lady, I knew that I was supposed to be one of the commentators because this girl decided she was having trouble with love. She was having some issues with love. She fell in love with this guy and he was a criminal. And so she decided to do crime with him, but she used a pink gun. And I mean, for me, I would think a pink gun would be great because I love pink. However, I would assume if you're a criminal, it's a little too memorable, right? Like it's
a definitely a very specific, detailed thing. Yes.
It's definitely going to, cause people to remember you. Hey, Dorothy from Mount Vernon, New York. I love it.
I got a lot of family out in Mount Vernon. I spent many summers there and Thanksgivings.
Nice. But yeah, so any of you guys that saw that episode, I believe the title is Addicted to Love. Let me know what you thought about it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. You posted the clip, right? Yeah.
I did. I posted the clip, but the entire thing showed the girl. Eventually, she got caught, and as did her fella. But they were robbing. They were robbing a lot of restaurants together, and they did. And then I think the phone. It was interesting because they tried to throw the phone out of the car, but the phone was like, it's really hard to do crime now with the smartphones.
Don't take them. That's the biggest.
Don't take your phone. I mean, not that we're encouraging anyone to do crime, but if you are planning to do crime, don't take your phone, and don't take a pink. Like, you want to have something that blends in with everybody else. You don't want to have like a pink. Bad use for the color pink. Anyway, it was a lot of fun learning. They sent us some research on the case and doing that. And I hope I get a chance to do it again. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah. So tonight's episode was interesting. Before we get into the episode, I asked a question on Instagram, and I want to ask that question to start out tonight's show before we get into the rigmarole and the muck of it all. I want to ask, do you think often, there's two questions, right? Do you all think, this is for the chat, and of course first for my co-host here, do you think that women forget that men have feelings, right? So that's the first question. The first question, and I want to play this clip first, and then we're going to all answer together, and then I'm going to ask the second question. So first question is, do you think that in dating, in relationships, period, that women often forget that men often have feelings? And yeah, let's get it.
He had everything I wanted. It was like bam, bam,
Except
bam.
the call.
Well, okay, so we're being honest.
Yeah,
At the time, it did not work for me. Like, who doesn't want to feel like financially stable? Especially like where I'm at in life now, like, and the things that I have going on. I need someone that's also just as stable as I am.
True.
So when I was presented with that, it was something that I really have to juggle.
So as manly as he is, he still got a heart.
Right.
And he was hurt by your response.
Okay, I wanted to ask this question that I want to see you guys' answers, because when I watched that scene, I could see the hurt on his face. Like, I could see it in his eyes. So I will say, I believe that women do often forget that men have feelings, because I think they demonstrate them so differently than we do. So it's easy to forget that they feel, because often we don't see that, right? And especially when I think there's the idea of someone that is extremely masculine, like someone that's big and tough and strong. A lot of times they don't exhibit those feelings, all the time. So I would say the answer is yes. And I think that it's because we don't see them. And if we do see a man show his feelings, it's usually not the way that women show their feelings. It's very different. I defer to you.
First of all, I want to say, yeah, men have feelings, but that don't qualify for this case. Let's start there.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing that to me. I was like, what did I do? Because I thought I was coming from an empathetic standpoint.
This is men have feelings thing. Yeah, yes, men do have feelings. We're all human. We have feelings, but I'm not putting that in this case.
But do you think? Hold on. Do you think that women forget that men have feelings?
Absolutely. In the times that a lot of guys do show it, I think it might catch women off guard, or they only associate women with. So when guys do it, then they're considered soft or less than a man, and then sudden the manhood thing and this emasculating when you do show it. So you're stuck in between having it and not expressing it, and then when you do express it, then or later it comes back up. So it's a tough space to be in.
Okay. Now give us why you did the raspberries. Okay.
Right, because I don't believe this wasn't. It was to his situation, but it wasn't personal. Like, that could have been, she could have never met him. It could have been a group of women just discussing men, and not having a car would have been an issue. So the fact that you take it personal, if she liked everything else, is crazy to me. Like, I just don't think it was a person. Now, if she said you didn't like you, and you ain't even she liked everything, but dog, you as a 40-something-year-old man, I'm assuming early 40s.
Yes, in his 40s.
Like, you should understand that. And she didn't say she didn't like you. She didn't like that situation of you. Like, it's not like she said, you know what, you have a club foot and I don't like your club foot. That's different. It's very, very specific to an individual, right? But this is something you would like. I'm not giving them that. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that, Mo, because my next question was, should his feelings have been hurt? Because you came on a whole dating show in your 40s without transportation. How do you propose to take this woman on a date once the producers are gone? I mean, that was my next question was, now, Marriott, that is funny. She says he has money to buy protein shakes and chicken, but can't buy a car. And I do know that anyone that is built like Cisco is drinking a lot of protein and a lot of chicken, right? Sir, so I think there are certain things that are needed when you're dating. I don't think a woman should be dating without a car. That is a basic need. Unless you live in New York or someplace where you really don't need a car, you can get it. But still, even as an adult, as a 40-plus-year-old adult, I mean, how are we going to get around?
Here's the thing: even in Philadelphia or even in New York, because have we established residence for this brother?
No.
Okay, so I think it's all those things stacked up. It's not just the car. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you got the bread for the car, you trying to figure it out. You don't have a need because your job is right there, the gym is right there. You just ain't tripping. Because in New York, it could be like that. You can get everywhere, but you got the bread for the car, but it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
But your whole program doesn't make sense. That's the problem.
That's agreed. Look at Scorpio Moe hitting home runs early on tonight. I just think that you cannot expect a adult to come into a relationship, to want to come into a relationship when you are at such a bad place. To me, it's not time for you to be looking for a relationship. And I think a lot of times, I'm just going to say it, I think that because Cisco is used to being able to attract women because of how he looks, but at the end of the day, nobody cares about those looks at a certain point in life. Now, if you're dating college age girls, sure. But even them nowadays, they're not with it because they don't listen to the songs, and the songs have put them on game, right? But
I think this generation can get with it better than because of the Uber situation. But you're old enough to be you just old enough to know. But I give somebody a pass in their 20s that don't have a car, and maybe they're Ubering everywhere. Because these are the same situations as with you say, okay, she doesn't cook, but she Uber Eats. You see what I'm saying? So it's certain stuff that I think a woman wouldn't have in place. Like, you'd be like, you're a woman, you don't have a bed, or when you're on a full-time. I think we give women a little bit more grace, and I understand that as a man. Sometimes you prefer her not to have a car. This way I know.
Yeah, I know a lot of men. I remember talking to this one guy that other girls he would date, when he would go to their house, they didn't have furniture. They wouldn't have a futon on the floor. But because of how they looked, he was okay with it. I don't know if he would have taken them seriously. That's two different things. But he did say a lot of girls in Atlanta, he would go to their house and they would have furniture.
I know a couple. I knew a couple. I don't know any now.
So I actually agree with Haitian Empress. She says Cisco is a user trust that if his mother is done with him, it's because he is overly relied on her. Well, I don't know about that part. And every woman who is his path, guilt tripping her into understanding his situation. It could be. We just don't know. I just think that parental issues can be very tricky. I wouldn't want to on that. But what I will say is, this is what I think. Like, Cisco had no problem turning down Shanice, who was a lot more understanding to his situation. Shanice was praying for him. She was laying hands on him, but he wanted the girl. So that's what I'm telling you, Mo. It is about looks, because if you really were going for the right woman, then he would have been attracted to the woman that had grace for him. But he, not only did he not have grace for her, but he also told her that Tay was beautiful. Like, he checked her on the other girl's looks. Like, and that's embarrassing. Like, you didn't have any empathy for her. He started crying at the end when he had to send her home last week. But in my opinion, that was because he doesn't like confrontation. He would prefer just to ghost her. So the fact that he had no problem saying, no, let's, I'm gonna straighten her out, let her know Tay is beautiful. Okay, well, Tay is not into your ass because you don't have any money. So you don't care about the fact that this girl, he said she reminded him of his spiritual side. You give no value to that. That's why it's so difficult sometimes to have empathy for certain guys in certain situations, because you ain't care about anything besides the looks. This girl was actually probably would have showed you some grace on your situation, even though I'm glad she's gone, so she didn't have to deal with that. But anytime you would come on a dating show that is on national television and have no money and no car, and then sit up here and look bad, look like you're upset and you're about to cry, and you want to keep that, your priorities are screwed, my brother.
That part. Now, I'm glad you said that. So all of that aligns. His priorities with the women are messed up. First of all, just take his life with this situation. If you got time to go to a gym and you're only working part-time or do whatever you do, you need to put that energy into that, right? So your priorities is messed up over there. Now you swing it over here to the women. If you're dating and you have the option of these two women, and this is how you know he's not ready to love. Because in that situation, how she looked and how this woman, she's not a bad looking woman. You know, that's the problem. So it evens out with the way he treats you, because you're rolling the dice over here, knowing that she has, it's insane. So on both sides, like we talked about the other day, like how you do one thing is how you do everything.
There you go.
And he just showed me that between just what he should be doing for himself as a man, to how he swings it over here and he's dealing with women, or how he's making his decisions. That wasn't a smart move. If you liked her, and you just using the other.
Well, it's the reason behind why you like the people that you like. And in your 40s, Haitian Empress says, I do not like the fact that she is placating the buff brokey. How has Cisco ended up with a whole nickname in the chat? Hilarious. But my problem is that you're picking women based on the look, and if you really wanted that, then you should have prepared yourself for it. Your priorities are messed up. And even outside of him being broke, being the buffed broke, I don't want to call him that, but I mean, he did come on TV as a buffed broke, so we have to acknowledge that. But my thing is, even with Shanice, he obviously felt comfortable talking to Shanice about his problems with his mom, right? So you came on broke and broken, and you confided in her, right? And then with Tay, because if you felt comfortable confiding in this woman so she could pray for you, and then the fact that you're chasing this other woman that you know does not like the fact that you're broke, probably doesn't have the same empathy, because I don't think she's necessarily cajoling him or placating him. I think she's being very honest. And even we saw the way that she talked about how she's really want to focus on Khalil because he doesn't have some of these other issues. It's just more reason for me to realize that Cisco is broke for a reason. I feel like we all can go through hard times. We all can go through hard times. That's just life. Anybody can go through hard times at any time. You can be up today and down tomorrow. But if you are consistently in a situation like that, there's usually a reason behind it. And for Cisco, he said something that was kind of telling when he was talking to Tay, trying to reassure her that he was going to get on his feet. And he was like, nothing's going to stop me from my dreams and goals. But if I have a woman, then that gives me that much more, energy to chase them. No, sir. No. Then you're not ready for a woman if you need a woman to motivate you to chase them. So no, sir. No, sir.
That part. And sidebar, she looks like Angela Simmons. Listen.
I was a little concerned about this tonight. These looks, these confessional looks, I want you to go back to your people, the women of Philly, and I want you to have a conversation again. I know you did a plea last week or the week before, but I'm afraid that there's more. What is happening? What is happening here? Do you have any insight?
I don't know. That looks very superhero-ish to me.
It's the baby hair for me. It's a total different. Yeah. I didn't like the confessional looks. There are some other ones that are very, very, very disturbing.
We're gonna get into it.
I got it. Trust to believe. I got it.
I was like, whoa.
All bets are off. Cisco, I really feel like he should be the one to go home next. And really, I'm gonna say this. I really feel like he should have went home before Naim. Now, speaking of Tay, do you think that, because Tay also said, Naim said when she came and sat down with him, when he sat down next to her, he said, I have 5 kids, 3 baby mamas, and a partridge in a pear tree. And she said, ooh, let me move on. It bothered him as well. But I think that Tay is just honest. And I think that is a lot. And I think that you cannot expect every woman. Thank you, Tammy, because I was not feeling it because I had tried it and it didn't work. But thank you for that. But no, I think that Tay is honest. And I think that Naim has to understand. We all have to understand that we may not be everybody's cup of tea, right?
He knows that. He knows. He's playing it up. He knows.
He did. He acted like he still should. Did you poo-poo him?
He knows. He knows. When he tells women, he braces himself because he knows. He even at one point he said on one of them, I get it. Of course you get it. You've gotten it a lot of times.
You've gotten it quite a few times, sir. And then why would his friend? Now I thought that his friend, we're jumping ahead, but his friend said that he had 7 children. But did his friend say it was between him and his wife? Or did he say he himself had born 7 children?
I want to say his wife, but don't quote me.
I felt like it was between him and his wife.
Hey, man, them short dudes get busy. I'm telling you. They don't pull out.
Naim is not short. But you know what?
Naim ain't got 7 neither.
Naim ain't got 7. He got 5. But I think probably a lot of them girls are like, ooh, I'm gonna have a baby with some curly hair. The ignorance that often runs rampant throughout our communities. Because I just always wondered, like, if a man has that many children, why would you have another? Why would you do it?
Depending on how many you got.
Period. But I feel like Naim, aside from his many children, I feel like he actually presented in a much more mature way. That's why I said I feel like Cisco should have went home before him.
That's true.
I also feel like they're forcing connections on us that never did exist.
That part.
Can we talk about that?
Let's do it.
Because I don't feel like, first of all, Deanna, we know Deanna's.
Let's get to it. Listen. I don't know what that was. Your business. What was going on? And they just threw that out there.
I feel like Marriott said, my God. I feel like the editing people just did that to us. They knew we weren't ready for that. They knew we didn't know what the hell was going on.
It looked like a Halloween costume.
Well, I do want to say, I feel like it's in two pieces because I feel like this here was her hair. Mm-hmm. This on the sides that's coming down is the wig. Because I feel like this here, see that back there?
It's not something's going on.
Something's going on. But I do want to say, I don't believe that she and Naim ever had a connection at all. I don't believe she had a connection with any of these people except for Eddie, who wasn't serious about anybody that was there, right? Eddie's been gone, but I don't, because she even said, if you guys pick this up, that she didn't really have connections. She's trying to move fast in a short amount of time.
Correct.
We don't believe that. We don't believe that these are any connections. Like, what? How did all of a sudden Cameron get so many freaking connections? She's connecting with Eddie, and I don't believe any of that. I feel like they went on hiatus. And the producers and Tommy started mix matching people and saying, "Hey, put her on a date with him." Like, I don't feel like any of this was real.
I think when they got rid of the other guys, they had to double up on the women and make the women go to the.
They just try to start dispersing people through, but I don't like the fact that they tried to put her. There is nothing about Naim that says he and Deanna would be a good fit.
She's too big.
You said she's too big?
Yes. She's too big for that wig. She's too big for him. She's too big. The shoulders she's too big.
Somebody said the shoulders.
Yes.
Somebody said oh. Yikes.
Can't do it.
Jesus Christ.
Can't do it.
Jesus Christ. So I just like, what is happening with the wigs? All the wigs is bad. This is not going well. No. Not the Beauty and the Beast sitcom. I remember that with Linda Hamilton. That's hilarious. Yeah, no, she got 4 sacks and 2 tackles. See, Boogie, stop it. Miss Wilson says, I do not see any connections this season. I'm starting to kind of agree because I feel like they just started mismatching people after they came back from break. Do you see any now? Okay, and you guys can argue with me. I'm okay with it. Let's go. The only person, the people that I felt like had a potential connection were Hussein and Rose. I do feel like Rose is full of it. She paints herself into being the perfect woman, right? Every time I'm a nurturer. I care too much. I pour into my man. I spoil my man. Are you ready to be nurtured? Are you ready to be fulfilled? Are you ready for me to pour into you? Girl.
No, he's not. He already stated that about that he has a problem with that. That's something he's not accustomed to.
Well, I think Hussein would be more open to it than the others that she's talking to, because she's also connected to Cameron and Khalil.
That's the part I'm talking about.
Yeah, they definitely are not open to that. Someone said they think that Jay and Kiara are an actual match. I'm gonna tell you why I don't believe this. That's Kiara and that's Jay. Now, I will say Jay has good game. I like his personality, right? C Boogie, please. He said Woody Hutton. I do like Jay's personality, but Kiara just does not seem. I think he's way more into her than she's into him. She always has little. She's like, I mean, so what is it? Is it this? Is it? I'm just asking. And remember, her baby daddy was in jail. She had the friend, and I tried to find that clip of the friend that also talked to another one of her connections. The friend, and he keeps saying that he was in love with her. Now, we do need to clear this up. All right. Kiara came out and made a post and said that the friend, she did not invite him. She did not invite him on to do everything that he did. She said that she was not aware that he was going to do all of that. And so she was saying that she was going to keep addressing it because people were really coming down on her, saying that she brought him on knowing that he was going to say that stuff, and that she brought on a person that was, basically could potentially have been abusive to children. Now, also, he came on, he put out a post on his social and said that he actually tried to take it back and said that, hold on, let me pull it up so I can read it to you guys. Basically, he said that he took it back and said he was not looking at her when she was 9, but sir, we just heard you say it, so we don't really believe you. It all seems like people that were on TV without good, without common sense.
And so, the backlash and tried to switch it up. Too late.
Yeah, I guess it's when that was in the story. And I didn't screenshot it, but yeah, he basically tried to redeem himself by saying that he was not looking at her when she was 9. That's the age that she was friends with his sister, and that he did not try to talk to her until later. In fact, he said they dated when she was 31. But
Scope at 9, though. He did say that.
Yeah, but you also did say that you were watching her from when she was little. You said it. So why would you say it if you didn't mean it? The cameras don't make you say anything. It doesn't make any sense. I'm telling you guys, I think that Kiara is kind of like, she's kind of got some game to her. And when I heard Jay's friends this week say that he was serious about girls in high school, I think he's one of them guys that's a really good guy. And unfortunately, a lot of times the really good guy ends up getting taken advantage of because he's ready for something real. And a lot of times women are not. Don't do that. Like you're not that guy. You have nothing in common with him. Don't do that.
Oh,
Don't do.
I was that man before high school. I was.
First of all, sir, middle school does not count. Middle school does not count, Mo.
My heartbreak don't count.
Not in middle school, sir. Move on. Move on. You're not Jay.
It has to start from somewhere.
No. So anyway, guys, I really do feel like, I saw that Kiara was in her feelings, but guys, you do realize that just because a girl is jealous does not mean she's really into you. It also could mean she just don't want you to be with nobody else.
That she likes the fact that you validate her, but she don't, and she likes to play that game, take that energy from you.
Yeah, I think that sometimes a girl feels like he's supposed to be all up under me. How dare he? Because she said, that's for next week, but she said, you embarrass me. But the fact that he was talking to somebody else, that's because she thinks that she had it already locked in. I don't think that she is as into Jay as he is into her. I think she's flirting and playing it cute on the show, but I think he really is a sincere guy. I really do. I also sincerely wish he would get some skincare.
Yeah, good guy. Somebody come along and mess that up for him eventually. That's normally how it goes.
But he's still good, though. He was married and divorced, and now he's ready to put his heart back out there.
Go ahead, brother.
Kiara, I agree, Marriott. Kiara is into herself. She is not into him. I think she's into herself. The fact that she keeps this guy around, and she brought him, that would suggest that she likes, and I mean, I'm not saying that most people like to have people around that like them. That's, most people. But if you're still doing that, then you're not really serious.
Thank you. And I think that's a lot of people's problems on social media, because it gives us access to these old people, or, no longer, I don't need your phone number, right? I don't need to physically keep up with you. I can see you on there and the likes and all these things. So when some people announce that they're in relationships, or the reason why they don't, or show pictures because they don't want that. They might not want the people, but they don't want that energy.
Yeah, absolutely. And we all know that. That's that. And I mean, you know, that can be hard to give up sometimes. But that guy was creepy. And she had to know he didn't have good character. There's nothing good about his character that came out. So the fact that she would keep him around was telling. But I don't think that I do think that that's probably the only relationship that seemed like it could be serious, but I don't think she's into him. I think she likes the fact that he's into her, and she saw him as easy work.
Damn. Can I say it like that?
Well, that's what I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's real though. That's real.
I could be wrong. All right, let's get into this. The troubled woman tonight. Angie, girl. Angie, I do appreciate today, before we go in on her, I do appreciate that she explained, or she tried to explain, why she is as rude and independent as she is. Her energy of, I'm not going to let a man lead, she basically is like, she does not want that. That is not what she wants. She said, that word serve, or that word this, and that word lead. And she don't want that. And then she tried to make an excuse. Could come from a painful place. I do think that most of the time our issues come from pain, right? That we haven't dealt with. But she is all over the place. One of the things that I do want to point out about her is that she is not willing to submit. She is not willing to have a real relationship, but she is willing to give up her sexual energy. And that is a oxymoron.
That's a first combination.
Speak on it, Mo. Speak on it.
I know a few like that. I'm thinking about somebody right now that's like that. And I get it. And those women, man, they usually free-spirited people. Let's get to that. You know how I feel about those women.
I do.
Great time. But that's part of it. Like I said, it's part of the free spirit. Like, you don't want to be contained to something. You know what I'm saying? If you say leadership, they feel like you're over them and it doesn't necessarily mean that. I think people take it too literally. And I just, first of all, I don't believe the what's the name story. Let's get to that.
What?
How she know home. I believe she knows him.
I wrote that down in my notes. Anytime she knows the polygamy dude and she DJ and she was a bartender at the party. No.
I believe she might have been a bartender but if you choose to do that type of venue, you want that, it's that energy. You want to be around that energy. Like, what? You don't just, I'm not. You
don't just end up out of the blue at a poly party as a bartender. You were there because those are your people. Do you see how they immediately connected when she walked in? She knows him. She knows exactly what he's into. She's into that. And even if you guys also noted, she said, I want to make it to where I tone down the sexuality. And then as soon as she went up to Cameron, she threw herself all over him. That's not that. What your words are contradicting your actions.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, you're right. Exactly.
Oh, I picked it up. But I do think the sad part, and this is how we know a lot of people are broken, and most people, I think, all of us have at times, dealt with things that are hurtful and don't know how to deal with them. So I'm not picking on her, but I'm saying that idea of it being a lot easier and it doesn't require as much emotional maturity to be sexual with someone as it does to really open your heart and put yourself in a vulnerable place. That's not that, it really should be more difficult to share your body with someone than your vulnerability. But because many of us have learned to work that, it is not. And that's really sad.
Great point.
So I noticed that she's, everything that she does when she approaches, she's very physical. She's very overtly physical. But a lot of times people that are like that, they're hiding behind that, and they don't want to, they're very surface. They don't want to go deeper than that. And I think men can see through that. Unfortunately, a lot of times women don't realize that they can.
Yeah, but we don't want to say it out loud. We don't want to spoil it because it comes with gifts.
Well, thank you for sharing and being honest with us tonight. Yes, that is true.
It's not healthy, but I'm just saying.
Marriott says a man begging to lead is negotiating his worth. I do want to say on that point, because I'm just so overhearing us talk about that. So we have an expert that's going to come in on Wednesday. I know a lot of my girls. Hey, you there? PR Envy. I don't think you're here tonight, but if you are, or are watching on the replay, I definitely think you should watch on Wednesday. We have an author and a PhD that's going to come and talk about why we are at this point. Yes, that is. Read the title. Black Women Love.
Black women. Was it Black Women Need Love Too?
Yes, Black Women Need Love Too. S&M is going to be here on Wednesday. Trust me, you want to be here. She's going to break down a lot of why things have ended up this way. But I just want to say that whole idea of I'm a provider and protector, I think a lot of men don't understand. Provide and protect does not only refer to money, right? Now, true, it is a big part of it, right? Providing, but it's also, when you're talking about protecting, there are no lions or bears or tigers attacking us at this point, right? Back in the beginning, in the early civilization, there were lions and tigers and bears, oh my, but it's not that. I think what most men don't understand in providing and protecting is protecting her heart, protecting her emotions, putting her in a position that feels safe emotionally so that she can love you. I know personally, and I've learned I've gone through therapy so I can explain it. If a man does not make you feel safe, you don't feel like you can be safe giving him the softest parts of you, because a lot of men do not create safe spaces emotionally for women. A lot of them do not, and most of them do not. So if you tell a woman that she's pretty, you tell her you like to have sex with her, you want her to do stuff for you, you want her to cook for you, but you do not make her feel safe. You do not make her feel not physically safe, because let's face it, a lot of women have been single and they know how to navigate making sure I'm watching my surroundings. We don't need you to protect us from the bears and the boogie monster. We need you to protect us from your negative side. And if you are not going to make a woman feel emotionally safe, then you are going to have a hard time getting a woman to open up and submit to you. It's just not going to happen.
You're 100% right. We're just not taught that. We don't, like, the fact that you're breaking it down right now, we weren't taught that breakdown. It's like provider. Sometimes it's providing you information. It's not always money, just like protection isn't always like physical. I'm being your bodyguard.
Right.
That could be a part of it if something, you know what I'm saying? If that calls for it. So I think we need to, just like I was saying before, we need to start really defining what these things are. We hearing these words, and now it's to the point men know women want that. So we're trained to just say it, even though it might not be. But we're trained to say that because we know women like what they hear or fall in love.
Yes, but a lot of them are saying it with anger. I'm a provider and a protector. Sir, no. Because if you're a woman, and just like and we talked about this on Dating Diaries, I read a post from this woman that said, I never felt safe with a man. Like, I never really felt safe enough to really enjoy sex and let my body be free. That's a real big thing, right? So there is a feeling of, I know that he's going to protect me, maybe from himself, maybe from his insecurity, maybe from his issues with all his a woman cannot love in her true essence unless she really feels like that man is going to receive it and she's not going to look stupid and I'm not going to be made into a fool. So what happens is women learn to build up this defense, and that defense, men do not like, right? But the only way to get past that defense is to understand what she really needs and to really provide that. And then in turn, I think if more men understood that, they would get a much softer, much sweeter woman, which I think they would enjoy. But you can't get to the soft sweet if I'm afraid that you're going to hit me, if I'm on guard of you taking advantage of me.
Can we have an agreement amongst us, and maybe we can spread it throughout the world?
We can start here, yes.
Like as our younger people, like me learning now and guys learning now and figuring this out without someone telling us, and we're navigating this thing. And sometimes when we hear from women, we hear it at the point that they're fed up and it doesn't translate as well, right?
Right.
As well as you're doing it now. So I would challenge us to talk to the young people, kids, nephews, nieces, whomever, younger people, because that's where it's going to start and feed into the next generation. Most of y'all are cooked already, too late. But to the people that's not.
Did you say cooked already?
A lot of us is cooked already. It ain't going to sink in. You hard-headed. You ain't listening.
I do think after a certain age that shit may have sailed. But I honestly think if you want to do better, you can do better.
1,000, you can do better. But more importantly, for the young generation, can we start not just saying it, but finding it and putting it in context like Christal just did? Because we're just hearing these words and they're not defined. So we just go what we think is the obvious definition of that. And sometimes, a lot of times, it runs deeper. And I think we need to sit the young people down, just like Christal just did, and explain what these things mean, opposed to just saying it and thinking they're going to get it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's why we talk here as a family, and hopefully I'm really looking forward to Wednesday's conversation, because, one of the biggest things is, like, if you are afraid to look at your history, you're going to repeat it, right? And so a lot of the issues that happen in our community are because of things that were passed down generationally and genetically because of what our ancestors have gone through. What's happening?
No, I said somebody. Sammy
said, "If I'm cooking, so are you." You tell her, girl. I like it. Hey,
Sammy, I'm cooking. I'm not cooked yet. I can turn it around.
All right, because we gotta swiftly move through here, but we're gonna talk more about that. Make sure you tune in on Wednesday so we can have real conversation, and I think we'll be able to relate a lot of that to Ready to Love, because these people are just out here. Everybody is needing therapy badly. And it's just, everybody is cooked, but there's reasons behind the madness. And I do feel for Angie. There's a lot there. And I'm afraid that if she doesn't get help and figure out, she's not ready to love, right? I mean, you cannot be ready to love and talking the way she does. But if she doesn't get help, she's going to keep repeating those things over and over again. And you can attract men and enjoy them physically, but are you really enjoying them physically, right? If you are constantly moving on and they're moving on, maybe you want to, be a part of the poly. I don't know. But what I do know is she just did not bartend, and that's it. That was definitely someplace that she intentionally was, because she's a free spirit. And that is definitely not going to work with I don't think that's going to work with Hussein. Although his friend saying that he had a high sex drive, that was kind of weird to me. Like, I would be.
It kind of threw me off now. I ain't going to hold you.
Yeah, I was like, why are his friends bringing that up? That was weird.
It threw me off for a second. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like, because I was like, that would never happen where you would sit down with someone's friends and talk about them before you make a decision. But that would never happen in real life. But if it did, I would be very thrown off that your friends are asking me, how am I in the bed? Like, we're not getting in there together. What is happening? And I mean, why are you talking to me about his sex drive? Do you want to help him out with it? I mean, are you a part of it as well? I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought it was rude.
It was.
And I thought he did not do a good job of cleaning that up. He also has a very tricky hairline.
He has a who?
A very tricky hairline. I can't, that picture doesn't show it. Some day from the side, it's sparse. From the front, it's not. Some days he has a very tricky hairline. I'm not able to get a good gander on what's going on, but it's very tricky, and I don't know about that. I just don't know about it.
Hey, I think his friends were trained to go in there to lie. I think they already had it set up.
I think so too. I didn't like it. All right, before we got minutes, I gotta go here.
Man, I keep telling y'all about this lady.
First of all, why is she wearing her hair like that?
I keep telling y'all about this lady. Y'all don't believe me.
Why is she? Marriott has figured out the riddle. The riddle is the center is bald and the front is receding, and together those two are, and then the back is kind of slight. So when you got a front receding, the center bald, and the back is slight, it's a lot going on with his head. He should just go bald because he probably would look better with a bald head.
He probably would. Do they spray the stuff on there?
It's not even sprayed on there. It's not sprayed on there. It's just, I'm seeing through it. I'm looking through the camera's eyes and I'm seeing through it every week. I don't like it. This is weird. This looks like a hairstyle for a 7-year-old.
That lady gonna get somebody in trouble. Leave that lady alone.
She got that tattoo on her neck. Y'all hear me? It is on the neck.
I smell that lady. Leave her alone.
I don't want to smoke. But can I tell y'all something? I really do think Cam likes her the most. I think Cam is insecure. I think Cam does a lot of talking about, he sounds great. He knows how to sound good on paper, but it's a reason that he's kept her around. I don't think he likes Rose. I don't think he's really into anybody else. I think that he likes her the most. And I did want to ask that, Marriott, where did her connection with Jay come from? Again, this is another fake connection that just came up out of the blue because nobody was feeling Sahara but Cam.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, Jay, nah, bruh, that y'all are playing in our faces.
That's a bad match. Maybe she's using Jay to make Cam ain't going to get one way or the other. But from the coming to Jacksons, it backfired and made someone else do it.
Well, it looked like Kiara about to whoop Jay's ass.
Yeah.
And I think from my perspective, I think she can take him. That's why y'all got to stop with this provide and protect, because for a lot of y'all, the women could whoop y'all's ass. So you're not protecting physically. It's got to be emotionally, because if she could potentially whoop your ass, you gotta protect in a different way.
Why you always think that? Why you always think that?
Don't make this personal. Don't make this personal.
Here's the thing, and as soon as a man say something, y'all say, "But you're a man, you're stronger." Act like it did.
Well, I will say this: for the most part, women, there are some men that don't look strong, but they are stronger. They are stronger than us. And I learned that the hard way in high school. Okay, I thought one of my friends, he would just be running his mouth, and I thought that I could take him because he was really, really, really skinny. But obviously, his bones were very strong because he slammed me into the locker, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, note to self, leave skinny guys alone." Now, again, sometimes I've looked at a couple and been like, I could probably take them, but
Me. I see that. Because stop, you should beat her. Let's get to me. You said it to me.
I didn't say it to you.
You did say it to me. This was about, I don't know, maybe 16, 17 years. You said it to me.
I don't remember saying it. I don't remember saying it. You said I did. And I do think that I do think it's something I would say because I did probably think that.
I get John on it. John remember. I know John remembers.
John does not. I told you. Was I threatening you?
No, you just was staring at me, looking me up and down. I was like, what? And then you was like, I think I could take you. Like, what? Yeah, like in a fight.
Oh my God. That's not the point. Who are we talking about? Jay? I don't think Jay could beat up Kiara. I think Kiara could beat up Jay. Now I do know who can whip everybody's ass.
Exactly. I take on a couple hey.
No, she definitely could. Now there are some girls that can whoop a guy. I thought I could, and I was wrong. And I never forgot that. And I never forgot that. I might have looked at Mo, but I wasn't gonna jump. I wasn't feeling froggy. I was not.
I'm fearful of women that wear men deodorant. Tell you. Like what's the name look like she can't wear female deodorant. She look like she wear men deodorant. And
she is a fireman and she's a firefighter, and so I do think that she has to be able to. I mean, that's a serious job. You got to be able to pick somebody up when you're in the fire building. Yeah, but yeah. So girl, why is she wearing the balls though? Is that some type of arrested development?
That's what I'm saying. Even the outfit that was that the one she wore at the thing, right? In the vault?
Yeah.
And then you seen it and I was looking at the outfit. I'm like, wow, she got this young shit on, man. Like, what is wrong?
I mean, she does have a body, like the body does fit it.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't understand. But she told him choose wisely, and he looked like, but I'm like, girl, she's not coming with the same type of sex appeal. Now, according to Mo, people think that she probably would be wild in bed, which would be crazy in the head, crazy in the bed. I just don't even know if it'd be worth it at this point. When she has baubles and barrettes and a tattoo on her neck, that is not.
Well, what I mean, wow, like she's not nice hotel, rose petals. She's in the back of the car. That's what
it may be a slight smell of urine. Just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yes.
I'm just saying. I don't like it. I don't like it, but I do think, I'm telling you, I do think Cam likes it. I do think Cam likes it. I think he feels like he can save her, and that could be, I feel like he likes it.
Or dudes, some guys, they like the opposite of them. You see what I'm saying? That's a turn on.
Well, she's definitely the opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, bless her heart. I was sad to see Naim go, but he doesn't need to be on here. He needs to be taking care of those children. And I don't care how many times a man says he got 3 baby mamas and they're all under control. They are not. They are not under control.
So
3 baby mamas are not under control. It's gonna be a wild card in there somewhere.
That part.
It's not gonna be peaceful. It's not gonna be peaceful dwellings with 3 baby mamas and 5 kids.
Ooh.
Not. Somebody gonna have a wild hair up there behind and be ready to come for you and have nothing. Not even if they're not with you and don't want you, they still gonna hate on you. They gonna hate on whoever you're with. They gonna make the kids hate whoever you're with.
You don't have none, and you think a woman's gonna accept? Woo.
Yeah, she don't have no kids. Like, I wouldn't even want to put that. Why would you even want to put that on somebody?
You should feel a way about even doing. Yeah.
You should not even feel like. I'll explain that later. But we got to get out of here because we got to come right back with Love and Marriage Huntsville. But y'all, let's quickly let's rate tonight's episode. Tonight's episode was not my favorite, but I do think I'm gonna be excited about the vacation, the getaway. So I'm gonna give tonight's episode a 7.
Ooh, okay. I would have gave it a 6, but okay. That.
I was gonna say 6.5, but
okay.
I mean, we got to the meat of the stuff with Cisco. Got him out of there. He really was on borrowed time. You cannot be there that long without having a place to live.
Yeah,
no.
You might have spoken on that a little too early. Most guys keep it to the end.
But how are you getting back and forth to set?
You can fake it with Uber, I'm assuming.
I mean, if they're paying for you to come, but all right. So I gave it a 7. Mo gave it a 6. We're gonna cut in the middle and make it a 6.5 for tonight's episode of Ready to Love. If you're watching the replay, let us know what you think. Before you get out of here, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you like this and leave your comments. Let us know what you would rate tonight's episode. For those of you that are watching live with us, go ahead and log out because we're coming right back with our review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. We got a lot to talk about with Marquez and Ken. We're back at it. We'll see you guys. And I like doing this 2 and 2. 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
2 and 2.
Right.